How's it going, team? And welcome to a brand new video that we have coming out for the Caveman Bets YouTube channel. Now, in this one, I'm going to be going through my predictions on every fight on UFC 269, and we are going to have one of these videos coming out from now on for every UFC event, whether that be a numbered event or a fight night. So each one we're going to have all the different fights, where I stand on the fight, who I think is going to win, and what my predicted method of victory is going to be for these ones. So stay tuned. This one will be coming out every week that there is a UFC event on. So guys, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that notification bell and like this video. And let's get straight into it. So kicking it off, we've got Gillian Robertson versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Now, this one is a bit of a striker versus grappler. Now, Gillian Robertson, she's my pick in this one. This is the person who I think is going to win. Her takedowns aren't the best, but once she gets onto the ground, I think she has a clear advantage. I'm going to take Gillian Robertson by sub in this one. Now, Randy Costa versus Tony Kelly. Randy Costa, the betting market is a wee bit off, I think, on this one. I think Tony Kelly has a lot more of a chance. In saying that, I am going to lean with Randy Costa, and I am going to go for a KO for him. But the way that this one I'm seeing going is Randy Costa's got a great chance in round one, maybe the start of round two. After that, I think it's going to be Tony Kelly, whether he can knock Costa out. Costa seems to gas a wee bit once he gets into that second round, or win a 29-28 victory. So I'm going to go with Randy Costa by KO, but I am expecting that KO to come nice and early. Ryan Hall versus Darrick Minner. Now, I saw the weigh-ins here. Darrick Minner didn't look great on the scales. He was very relieved to make that weight there. Ryan Hall, of course, he's the type of fighter that nobody likes to watch. He has that very unorthodox style, but I think it's time for him to get the win. Obviously, he was beaten quite badly by Ilya Tapora in his last fight. I'm going to go Ryan Hall by sub. Some type of heel hook, I think, is going to be the way for him, as it traditionally is. There is a chance, I think he could actually knock Darrick Minner out, but I am going to go Ryan Hall by sub. We have Miranda Maverick and Erin Blanchfield. Now, Erin Blanchfield, I watched her UFC debut and she looked terrific. Miranda Maverick probably should have won the Macy Barber fight. I'm going to lean with Miranda Maverick on this one, more out of experience than anything else, but I think this is a very close fight. I'm going to go Miranda Maverick by points, but yeah, I think this is going to be a very good one, and whoever wins this fight, I can see going on a bit of a run up the rankings there, but I am going to lean for Maverick. Andre Muniz versus Eric Anders. Tough one to pick, but I am going to go with Muniz, and I'm going to take him by sub. I think if this fight gets to the mat, it's Muniz all day. Now, Eric Anders is fighting out of, I think it's Henry Cejudo's gym, so he'll definitely be not off his back, on the mat, but I think Muniz is just going to be the better grappler there. Now, Jordan Wright versus Bruno Silva. I can only see this fight going one way, and that is Bruno Silva by the knockout. So Bruno Silva, I think, is just a much better fighter here, and he's one of my favorite bets this week, is to take Silva on the knockout. Augusto Sakai and Tai Tuivasa. Now, a close fight here, and I'm leaning Augusto Sakai. I didn't think I would do that because I do really like Tai Tuivasa, but just the competition they face, I think, Sakai is coming off a couple of losses, but he's fought much better competition. Tuivasa, I think, is going to be slightly out of his element here, and if Tuivasa can't finish this early, then I see Sakai winning a dominant decision here. Whether it be a 30-27 or a 29-28, I think Sakai is just a better quality fighter. Tuivasa, I think, has higher potential, and he does have the opportunity to go on a run at some point, but I think he may just be humbled a wee bit here. We've got Pedro Muniz up against Dominick Cruz. This one is looking like a very, very tough fight to pick, but I am going to lean slightly towards Dominick Cruz. Cruz, obviously, a former champion. He's been out of the ring for a wee while, but Dominick Cruz, I like to get the job done here by points, going all the way. I think this is going to be a hard-fought fight and potentially fight of the night. But I am going to lean towards Cruz by decision. Josh Emmett versus Dan 50k EK, and another tough one to pick, but I am going to lean towards Josh Emmett here. I think Emmett's just got a wee bit more than what Ige has, even though we haven't seen Emmett for a while. Ige came off a pretty poor showing up against Zombie in his last fight. I just don't think he has what it takes to be able to stick with Josh Emmett in this fight. Ige might be in a wee bit of danger as well. He could be even getting cut if he loses this one, or he'll get one more fight up against an up-and-comer. Hallie and Paver versus Sean O'Malley. Now, I'm going to take O'Malley here. How he gets it done is very difficult. He's either going to finish in round one, but that's not O'Malley's way. He likes to play with his food, so to speak, and in which case I could actually see this going all the way to the scorecards. But I am going to say O'Malley gets the job done in a KO, most likely an early round one KO. But he really has to put his head down and just go for the win instead of trying to go for one of these big, flashy highlight reel knockouts. However, now betting wise on this fight, this line is completely off. Paver is a good fighter. Definitely don't think that this is a one-way fight at all. Paver definitely has a chance to win this fight, and the odds are completely off here. If I was to bet this fight, I would probably be betting Paver just for the fact that the odds are simply too high on him. And yeah, I think he's destined for great things. It's just tough going up O'Malley, who trains with Kyler Phillips, who obviously fought Paver last time, so he's got a wee bit of an inside track on how he's going there. Kite Cara France versus Cody Garbrandt. This one I've been going back and forth all week, and I am right now leading towards Cody Garbrandt to win this fight by decision. I feel Garbrandt either wins by decision or Kite Cara France knocks him out. And I just think Garbrandt's got a wee bit more experience in these types of situations. Even though this is going to be his first fight down the weight class, I think this is one where Garbrandt's just a wee bit better quality of a fighter here. So I am going to go with Garbrandt by decision. Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinio. And I'm going to take Jeff Neal in this one. Money has been flooding in for Ponzinio, especially after Jeff Neal's DIC and I think firearm charge. He had a gun in the car as well, which came on Thanksgiving. But I feel Neal is the slightly better fighter. So I will take Jeff Neal, and I'm going to take him by points here. I think both of these guys are going to give one hell of a showing, and it's going to be a great fight to watch, but I am going to be leaning with Jeff Neal. On to the co-main event, and we have Amanda Nunez versus Juliana Pena. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It's Amanda Nunez, however way she wants. I don't think this is going to the scorecards. I have a feeling she could sub her, but I am going to pick KO, as that is her bread and butter. That is how she gets these fights done. But yeah, don't discount the submission here. Pena's been talking a lot of shit, and Nunez is definitely the type of fighter that would try to want to finish her in Pena's style of fighting there. So I'm going to take Nunez by KO, but I'm not going to be surprised at all if it ends up being a submission. Now, the main event, I have gone back and forth, flipped on this one a bunch of times. I'm going to take Charles Oliveira. here, and I'm going to take him by submission. Tough fight to call. Betting wise, I think Oliveira is definitely the betting side to go on. You're getting too much favoritism to Poirier because of the Conor McGregor fights. Oliveira is one of the best guys on the mat in the division. Obviously, he holds the record for the most submissions. I just think he's the slightly better fighter here. If Poirier does win, it would be sad to say, I think he would announce his retirement in the octagon. And when you've got someone that might turn around and do that, I really just don't want them to win. But all in all, I have broken this fight down, and I think obviously Poirier is the better striker. Oliveira is the better grappler, but Oliveira can definitely strike as well. Obviously, Poirier isn't a crab off his back, but I am going to lean to Oliveira in this fight by submission. So that does it there, guys. Those are my picks for UFC 269. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, ring that notification bell so you know exactly when our content is coming up. We are going to have much better edited videos in the future. My editing software decided to crash today, so I have to uninstall and reinstall all of that, which is going to take a bit of time, but I just wanted to get this video out there anyway. Guys, throw down in the comments what you think is going to happen at UFC 269. If you think there's any locks, if you agree, disagree with my picks, throw them all down there. We will be running through and keeping a tally of how we're going, both picking the fights outright and picking the method of victory. So if you want to throw how you think the fights are going to go, throw them down there. And if you do better than me, well, we'll give you a shout out on the next video. All right, have a good one, guys. Cheers.